Welcome to the Wealth Transfer News. I'm Terry Sacka, Chief Strategist, and I'm along with Dr. Charles Vance. We welcome you to this program.
Absolutely. We want you to stay around because we want you to understand the importance of you learning to take care of your own finances. Now, I don't mean that in a mean way, like you're not taking care of it. We're talking about you planning for your financial future. And make sure that you're not deceived by the institutionalizing of the currency system and the stock market that is around. We're going to give you some truth on the program today that if you'll act on it, it can change your life financially. Stay around.
Yes, because Charles, we talked last week about inflation. And here we know, and some great, big economists are saying we're in a deflationary period, which, okay, we are. And now when you hear the word deflation, it just means prices are coming down. But that's not exactly true because we all know prices are not coming down, right? We're seeing it, we're buying things, we're doing it. So it's a very skewed time. And there was a great man, you know his name. Junior is down in Miami now. He was a great man of God, passed away, but he had a great book. And he wrote this back in the 70s. And he said there's going to come a time where even the professionals won't know what to do. And then everything he prophesied in that book, and everyone would know you. I'm so sorry I don't have his name off the top of my head. Everyone would know who I'm talking about. But this was an amazing, and he did some great video clips too on this stuff, audios, and he nailed it. And right now, even the professionals don't even realize what's going on. Now, I'm out of the financial system. I used to work at A.G. Edwards. I am accredited asset management specialist. I had a Series 7, 3, 63, 65. So I get it. We're now in natural resources, things of the earth, tangible assets. So the thing is, I know the world, we get it, but we're in a system now that is extremely deceiving. So last week we let off that, and if you haven't seen it, we do encourage you to go to wealthtransfernews.com. You can watch the weekly television program there if you happen to miss one, or if you do want to pass the information on to a family member or a friend, they can go watch the weekly television program there. It is listed, as well as past series that some of them are just fantastic series, especially with China, the SDR, and other things, as well as listen to the daily radio program. So we do encourage you to do that. But we talked about and we showed and illustrated how at 9/11, basically it was 98, 99, 9/11 time frame, how a $20 bill bought a full cart of groceries. And then 2005, and then of course today, that same 20 buys you nothing. And then we illustrated that if you would have instead of held $20 or cash in the bank, or money in the stock market or currency since 9/11, if you would have had silver in your IRA or your savings, that $20 would have been worth $100 today. Therefore, you would have been able to buy $100 worth of groceries. So we're basically talking about buying power. It's not about an investment per se, as it is our ability to buy and be able to withstand the inflation. Because remember, it's your hard-earned money. It's your retirement. It's your inheritance to your children. And it's your donation and gifting to the churches, ministries, and those around you. So we want to show you some things in the global economy today and help you understand. We're talking about how America's monetary system is working. But you have to know the American dollar is tied to a couple of different currencies. But this American dollar only has value, period. Now, only has value because it's tied to the euro, the European currency, Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, and a couple others. It's a trade partner issue.
So it's a global trading system, if you will.
Almost, but it's actually the dollar is weighted against its trade partners. Okay. And the major trading partners would be Europe, Canada, Japan.
Gotcha.
So the dollar gets its value that way. So as the Japanese yen or the European currency, Europe's in a lot of trouble. That's why we need to talk about this a little bit. But, the Italian banks are on default range. Germany, France are collapsing under Islamic infiltration. Their economies are falling apart. Europe is making a move to nationalize all of Europe. They're tearing down all sovereignty in Europe. They're tearing down sovereign armies, sovereign banking, laws, and they're now all going to be managed by the technocrats in the European Union in Brussels, which means unelected officials. So this is really kind of a big deal because Europe's economy is in a lot of trouble. Now, it started with Greece, and they've gone through these few years of faking, making, creating bonds out of thin air to buy bonds, and it's kind of coming to a head again because Italy is even bigger. Now, so the European currency has been collapsing, thus giving weight to the dollar. But the dynamics is not that the dollar's strong, it's just that the others are just as bad. It's almost as if, one's a dirtier sock in the bin than the other, but it doesn't mean it's not a dirty sock. The point is, this is going down too, and so it's a matter of time, and we need to recognize that because our ability to buy, preserve, and protect the wealth that you've worked hard for is in jeopardy, and it's probably not too far off. I call it the Trump effect, but be cautious with that. It just looks like they're setting him up for many things, and we talked about a few weeks ago how the Chinese president made a very unusual comment. And they don't, and they say they, the globalists, do not like populism, conservatism. That's Trump. So we'll have to see this play out. I don't trust it. And they've tried to throw everything at him to get him to fail. And it's all backfired because I believe there's that protection of God.
Well, the simple truth is the elite do not like a republic. They don't like the
nationalism.
people.
They don't like nationalism.
They don't like people running their own destiny.
Yes.
And that creates a real problem unless they can deceive the public into thinking that they're doing something marvelous for them.
Yes, and it's unraveling in front of them right now.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole Trump effect is backfiring on them. I mean, first you had England exiting with the Brexit. Remember all the threats they did to England? And even President Obama and Hillary Clinton went over there and threatened the English people. It's catastrophe. Do you know that the English economy right now is so phenomenally better off that they're not in Europe? They're doing amazing. So that means everything that Obama, Hillary, and all the socialist, anarchist, left-wingers said to threaten the English people to scare them wasn't true. Well, we knew that on our side, but this goes to show you we're winning to an extent. Now, be cautious, because as I was telling a client of mine, I said that the head of the snake just got cut off, which was Hillary and Obama. But she had an interesting comment about the Hydra spirit, and it's just fascinating conversation. But bottom line is the head grows back. And I said, I see this as where we're in a reprieve. We have a moment of okay, whew, maybe we get Ted Cruz in the Supreme Court. Maybe we get a little reprieve. Trump's going to kick some butt. But do not get soft. It's not just about the short term. Protecting and preserving our assets is for the duration, because as we outlined, your buying power was better off in silver anyway over time, especially now with the derivatives manipulating the price. This is a phenomenal opportunity to get it now in your IRA. Physical, no third party owns it, it's yours. And you could always sell it in the future and materialize that profit. So we have to understand that it's about a global economy, and that's why this is an issue.
So there is really a deception that is propagated from the wealthy elite that we should be dependent upon their decisions.
They definitely want that,
They want us to think that we'll be better off doing that. Although the world, for many thousands of years, stood without them and did very well without them.
Well, and here's basically an image of the world as we see it. This kind of is the world right now. This is the United States dollar, the euro, and the Chinese yuan. Okay, this is it. This is basically the global economy. Of course, then there's others. There's smaller, and they just kind of cherry pick around. This is the world's economy. And you notice China's in the mix in that, because China has surpassed the United States as the largest trading part or exporter in the world. So they're having a big stake in the game now. They've been building the Silk Road trade routes for quite some time, and now we're picking a fight with them over trade and making things equal. You get ready for some fireworks. So I highly recommend that you don't get comfortable, because it's now worth it. And bottom line is this. Right now, you can get silver at a reasonable premium if you swap out your IRA into silver. And you're at the top end of a stock market. If you try to time this, or you don't do this in a timely manner, you could lose easily 10% of your stock portfolio overnight. And then it's going to cost you more money because the premiums in silver will skyrocket. So you could lose a substantial buying power opportunity that I just don't want to see, because in the end, this stock market's already right in a eclipsing high. And the silver is down at a bottom manipulated by derivatives. So let's take a quick break and we'll come on back. But I'd take this serious. This is a pretty wonderful offer.
Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you secure your financial future by protecting and preserving your assets through silver and gold. The protection and preservation of your investment is our first goal. So we are here to serve you with honesty, transparency, and respect. And for a limited time, Cornerstone will waive your first-year transfer and setup fees when you roll over your current IRA into a gold or silver IRA. That can save you as much as $1,000. Take control of your future. Register on our website at cornerstoneassetmetals.com or give us a call at 888-747-3309. At Cornerstone, securing your future is our goal.
Terry, you know, I want to break in for a second. You know, there has been a propagated mentality in America, get rich quick. The lottery has been one of those things that has been shot out into the system to make people think if I do just a certain thing or act a certain way or make this certain investment in something and get out of it real quick, I can get real rich real quick. And we're not talking about that when we're talking about silver and gold. This is really protection, preservation, long-term investment, something that you can put stock in that you know it's going to be around. This is the Cornerstone coin that I hold up here. I know you can't see that, but if you see behind Terry when they flip the camera over there, you can see pictures of it. This is not made in China or made in Japan or Taiwan or any of those countries, and God bless all those folks, but this is real silver. It's minted here in America. It's the purest that you can get, and you can take this stuff home with you is what's cool, or you can put it in a third-party vault for your IRA and hold it. So, I mean, I just feel like I need to stress, because many times people think, well, you know, if I could buy it and sell it real quick. That's not what this program is about. This program is about you investing in something that has long-term return for you and your family.
Yes, that's excellent.
What's it about?
No, that's excellent, yes. And, you know, in the silver, it happens to be 4-9 purity as well, so it's the finest God would only provide, probably. I like that. But, you know, Charles makes an excellent point. It really is. And I think those who have been looking at that since 9/11, of course, are substantially wealthier. So it's proven out to be factually true. So as you can see behind me, that the global economy is ran by these three major powers. But the problem is that the dollar, the United States dollar, has got a two-front attack on it. The European Union is falling apart and collapsing right before our eyes today. And the Chinese, of course, are behind the efforts to undermine the dollar's superior reserve status. Because now China, remember, past October, was put into the IMF as a reserve currency. So China is definitely starting to push some muscle. They're rising as a superpower, and they're taking on the dollar status. So the dollar is getting attacked by a destructive euro and an attacking Chinese. So this is very interesting stuff. So let's look at some other angles for the global economies, why we need to be cautious on what's taking place. Bitcoin is thrown out, and I know a lot of people talk about it. It's a digital currency. I get it. It's like digital money, and it can go anywhere in the world, and it's wonderful. You've heard Bitcoin. Be very cautious when it comes to Bitcoin, though, because as Chinese just showed their hand on, they could easily just turn it off. Remember, it's internet. Who controls the internet but the NSA and the global elites? So don't think that Bitcoin is a viable alternative because we don't have control of the internet. Silver is something you can bury in the backyard. No one knows where it is unless you make a treasure map. So be very cautious. So let's just do a backdrop. You get an idea what I'm referring to full screen. People are into Bitcoins. They hear a lot about it. It goes up and down in price. But do keep in mind, it is digital. And you not only do you not have control in the banks, as we outlined, that you're a third party to that. When you put money in a bank, you're actually giving a loan to the bank. Money that's in your stock account in your portfolio actually belongs to the brokerage firm. You've given a loan to them as well. And so you have to understand where you're putting your money. And when you put it in silver, it's actually yours. Third party and zero attachment. Bitcoin is very dangerous, so I would stay away from that.
Well, it's almost as dangerous as you getting a loan or making a deposit at the bank, because that's pretty much digital.
And they can turn you off.
Now. Yes.
I mean, I just had that happen to me. I was doing a real heavy, one of those, credit cards, and you get flyer miles with an airline. And the airline discontinued the relationship because I was getting too many miles without holding a balance on the card. I mean, how shady is that? And so the thing is, and I don't even know it, and all of a sudden I'm out.
Real shady.
Very shady, and I'm out there, and all of a sudden the credit card's closed, and they don't even tell you. And so there's Chase for you, and United Airlines for you for that matter. That call them out because they did it. So the thing is, that's just shady stuff. Budget cutting, well, at least call me. But you see, they turned it off.
But the point is you weren't holding anything.
Right.
It was all digital.
It was digital. And the point is,
Yeah.
they control you. You
Sure.
are a slave in the digital world. So
Absolutely.
the image we have behind us now, what I'd like to outline is the reason that the dollar has a chain around the world. After the 2008 market collapse, we basically loaned the world up to $10 trillion. We gave swap lines. We took their currency, gave them ours. And then we gave all these loans in dollars around the world.
Hey, we would do that if they'd let us print money.
Well, that's it though. We print fake money and just put it out there. Now, here's the problem. These people bought the dollars at a low dollar value back down in the 70, 80 range, and now the dollar's up. They can't pay that loan back at the same amount. We're putting literally a stronghold. We literally have enslaved the world's financial system. I personally believe that was a tactic. I believe it was done on purpose because now we have control over vast majority of the world financials.
You say we, the Federal Reserve
Bank. Yeah, it's definitely not we the people.
No, definitely not.
But the problem is you have the rebels of China, Iran, and Russia and others that are not playing along. They're selling out of U.S. debt and treasuries. So we have to be very cautious to this argument and understand silver is constitutional money. The Cornerstone Crown happens to be First Amendment protected because of its religious nature. And of course, it's biblical money.
Say that again about the protection, because that ran past some people.
Oh, First Amendment protection, meaning the Cornerstone Crown is a 4.9 purity, but it's a 100% Judeo-Christian silver coin. So it even has biblical references on it, meaning it is First Amendment protected under religion. Now, back in the day when they did confiscate gold, it was our money. But right now, our silver is not bullion. And when it goes in the vault, it actually has the same hallmarking and purity standard as an American silver eagle. And the beautiful thing is it's religious, so it has a First Amendment protected right. If they say turn in your bullion, we don't have to turn in that silver because it's protected for religious. They didn't take our crosses back in the day around our neck, and the coin is no different. It's a religious icon, so I love that.
And people can take this home.
Oh, absolutely. Well, many do.
I've got this in my vault.
Most people that do IRAs in silver, they also take a certain amount home too.
Sure.
So the IRAs you can't touch because it's retirement accounts. So they roll their IRA over into physical silver. Don't ever have to think about it again. Peace of mind.
And what does Cornerstone do with that when they roll it over?
Oh, we mint fresh the brand new coins, and then we ship it to the depository where it's logged into your account.
That's not a government depository.
Oh no, it's a private, and it's logged into your account, and the custodian of the IRA manages it for you. No third-party attachment. It's in your name. It's a title in your name. So in the future, when you want to, you either take the silver home as distribution when you start to pay taxes on your IRA, or you just simply sell the silver at the time for hopefully a much greater value, which is just excellence, of course. But we want to get into, there's a couple different indexes I don't really need to get into, but I don't want to even go there either. I want to go into this. There's some reasons why we were talking about this, and there's two things that happen, actually. There's a global earnings breath that I want to show. I think that's very, very interesting. This is global earnings breath, and it's proportion of countries with negative year over year to earnings, and then the world. But it's a stark reality. And I want you to see something. Let's go to the back end of this and let's show a full picture real quick. This is how we know. Oh, let me go here. I'm sorry. This is how we know. The first bump happens to be 9/11. The second bump is 2008. This is a global negative year-over-year earnings and such. Look at the third bump. It's as high as 2008, came off and went back up, and it went back up there on the right only because of the fake rally under the Trump thing, but it's all fake because the big money's getting out. If that doesn't warn you that something's coming, we wouldn't be at that indicator. That is a massive indicator. So be very, very aware of that. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll get back into some of these global statistics. But it's very important that you understand how to get educated and get protected. Here's a good place to get started.
Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you secure your financial future by protecting and preserving your assets through silver and gold. The protection and preservation of your investment is our first goal. So we are here to serve you with honesty, transparency, and respect. And for a limited time, Cornerstone will waive your first-year transfer and setup fees when you roll over your current IRA into a gold or silver IRA. That can save you as much as $1,000. Take control of your future. Register on our website at cornerstoneassetmetals.com or give us a call at 888-747-3309. At Cornerstone, securing your future is our goal.
Now, I keep saying this and it bears repeating. A trap is being set. A lot of big money has been getting out at these higher ends, and then you still see big money talking, hey, get in, get in. Believe me, there's people that say things because they have the opposite intended for themselves. So be very, very, very careful. There's one more big indicator. Now, the one I just showed you is stunning. I mean, you couldn't lay it out any better than that. That just happened to be the Shemitah cycle too. But 9/11, 2008, and right now, if you're a chart person, you see red screaming sirens saying something is getting ready to break. And all I know is this time we're 10 trillion deeper in debt. This next indicator is just as important because he keeps talking about it, and it happens to be oil. Our oil production is skyrocketing. And it's just not good. When we have that much oil available, what it's telling you, the economy isn't moving. People aren't using energy. And this is just another indicator that how real this is. And so keep that in mind that our economies run with indicators, but they're not telling us that truth. So I have a video I want to show you, and this is known as an indicator. Ironically, it just so happens when this indicator plays out, things take place. And so instead of me saying it, let's just play this video and let you watch it for yourself.
Here is why gold will make new highs in 2017. President Trump, $20 trillion in national debt, hundreds of trillions in unfunded liabilities, peak gold, resource wars with Russia and China. All reasons many analysts will forecast a higher gold price in the years to come. But the reality is there is only one single indicator that has always pointed to the rise of gold. One that is a screaming indicator to buy or sell gold. The last time this indicator was this bullish for gold, gold surged from $175 per ounce to $850 in less than 2 years. That's a 485% increase, a move that at today's prices would take gold over $6,000 per ounce by 2019. In fact, the current signal to buy gold is much closer to the one we saw in 1925, where gold saw a rise of 583%. What is about to take gold higher in 2017 isn't for any of the reasons we mentioned at the start of this video, or the countless of other reasons we could think of given the current state of the global economic system. Gold will rise and make new all-time highs due to the current real yield environment. Bonds are yielding less than 2%. However, even the government's own CPI inflation rate is currently running at 2.3%. And this doesn't factor in energy prices, rising food costs, or taxes. Simply put, U.S. Treasury holders and all savers using conventional bank accounts, which make up the vast majority, are 100% locking in losses. Unprecedented central bank intervention has created a new normal where bond yields pay out less than the current price inflation, guaranteeing all who invest in them and use them for a preservation of capital vehicle are losing money. In the past few years, this has been acceptable to investors and major institutions, but anyone who understands basic math knows that the time is working against the central bank strategy. Losing money year after year isn't sustainable for investors. The last time we saw anything close to this was in the 1970s when bond ownership collapsed nearly 50%. Negative real returns are going to push the gold market higher than anyone can fathom. Just as the mainstream financial press didn't see the Lehman Brothers crisis or Trump winning, they aren't seeing this parabolic move that is about to happen in gold.
I tell you, this is big stuff. Now, a couple points real quick. They haven't seen it, or they don't see it because I contend they don't want to. They didn't see it in The Big Short, watch the movie, in the market crash in 2008. I think it's also by design. And it's not, this video was constructed with gold in mind because gold is actually a tier 1 asset and it's known as tier 1, it's money. So gold is equivalent to U.S. Treasuries and currency. It's equal, they're swappable. So they use gold as a monetary basis. But I can only tell you, if gold were to go to 6,000, silver would be hundreds of dollars an ounce. So there's some big things taking place. And just remember, that's 1,000% return from where we're at today. And can you imagine a $200,000 IRA with 1,000% return? That is $2 million. And that's just to give you an idea of what's getting ready to take place in our world between paper, bonds, IOUs, and tangible assets, God's money, silver. So God bless you. We'll catch you next week.
You definitely need to check the website out. That's wealthtransfernews.com. You can watch these programs again and go back and check the archives out as well. There's radio programs there, daily radio programs there. It'll be a blessing to you. It will educate you. Always, just always make sure you manage what you have for you, and God will put His blessings on it. We'll see you next week, same place, same time, for more of the Wealth Transfer News.
Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you secure your financial future by protecting and preserving your assets through silver and gold. The protection and preservation of your investment is our first goal. So we are here to serve you with honesty, transparency, and respect. And for a limited time, Cornerstone will waive your first-year transfer and setup fees when you roll over your current IRA into a gold or silver IRA. That can save you as much as $1,000. Take control of your future. Register on our website at cornerstoneassetmetals.com or give us a call at 888-747-3309. At Cornerstone, securing your future is our goal.